Here we are on day number 3 of my 21-day detox for Sober October. The different rendition is created by me. I'm setting to myself a more obtainable goal, a less daunting goal of 21 days, even though I know full and well, same as when I originally quit weed, I set myself a 30-day period. You know, it's like you tell yourself, I'm not quitting this vice, I'm not quitting weed, I'm not quitting alcohol. I'm just doing a little detox, a little short little detox. And when I got to the end of my 30 days with weed, it was pretty much goodbye at that point. Now, granted, I have smoked in the past since then, but it's way less. It's like at this point, it's probably once every 5 or 6 weeks, 7 weeks, something like that, who knows? And that may dissipate and go away forever. I don't know. Probably not, though. If I ever go to a reggae concert or something like that, I'll probably smoke. But anyhow, as far as the building back to the clear state of mind, the positive state of mind, and the good feeling that I was in before, when I was like on day 10 or 11 of not drinking last month. I reached a pretty good point of just being happy. And part of that was implementing daily meditation and obviously watching what I eat, getting in some exercise, doing those sorts of things. But a big portion of it was not having a lot of alcohol in my system. And so I'm excited to get back to that. We're slowly starting to pick up the pace with the mind and get a little bit more clear thought. Though granted, currently, I wouldn't mind taking a little nappy nap. I gotta be honest. I would do that right now. In fact, I might do that because I don't have a lot of files to work on right now. I'm pretty much caught up. There are some leads I could call, and I probably should do that. But I think it's part of like the shedding of the fog from the alcohol. You get to this point where it's like you're just kind of tired a little bit, just kind of tired. But I'm gonna push through. I'm gonna get through it, and I'm excited to get back to that day 10, day 11 point of not drinking and push further, than I think I said yesterday. My max is 28 days that I've gone without alcohol in the last, I guess, 3 years, or since I moved down to Florida, I guess. That's the longest stretch. It's not the longest stretch ever, but the longest stretch since I moved down to Florida. Regardless of what vice we are detoxing from, we're trying to get away from, we're trying to quit. If we've been doing it recently in any form, we have to go through this process of, day 1, day 2, day 3, whether you document it or not. And each day is different. Each day could be a little struggle, but I like to look at the positive side as much as possible. And, my mind's getting clearer, for the most part. I might be repeating myself here and there, but overall, I feel more clear thought and the good stuff, the good vibrations. It felt really good this morning being out there at the pier, watching the sunrise. Prior to the sunrise, I was saying like gratitude affirmations, just randomly whatever came to my head. I was saying like, thank you for whatever. Thank you for the water. Thank you for my family. Whatever it was that came to my head, I was saying thank you for it. And I was in a good state of mind. Not to get too woo-woo on this video, but I've always had this desire of being a coach in some form, like a life coach, some kind of mentor type position, and having that be my journey on this planet, however it comes, whether it's YouTube or person to person or whatever. It's just always been a thing that I've thought that I would do. Well, it used to be a comedian, and then it was like, well, that's maybe possible, but maybe life coach is the way to go. I don't know. So that's what I think, right? And I've put that out in the universe, as you would read in Law of Attraction, putting it out in the universe. But when we are in a state of resistance and we're pushing back on life, or we're unhappy with certain things, we're not vibrating at a good level. But anyhow, the reason I brought that up is in this moment, this morning, I was vibrating at an amazing level because I was being thankful. I was living in the moment. I was embracing the beauty of nature. I wasn't stressing. It was all good. And, next thing you know, there's this lady walking down the pier, and she ends up speaking up to me and saying something about dolphins or something. And then we just kind of went back and forth for a little bit, just for a few moments. And then there was like this dead silence, and I just kind of stopped talking, and I assumed she was going to walk away, but she said something else, and we kept talking. And long story short, she's a life coach. She wasn't trying to like pitch her. She's not like that. She's not like, oh, you need a life coach, or like life insurance salespeople do. They're probably out trying to pitch to everybody. It wasn't like that. It was an organic conversation. It just came up in conversation. That's what she did. And I was like, no shit. You're a life coach. Tell me about it, And so we started talking back and forth a lot about it. And I was like, that's kind of where I'm trying to go. I told her about my journey, what's going on. She's like, well, that's a big part of being a life coach is, you go from point A, a crumbled whatever existence, like a foggy clusterfuck existence, and you bring yourself out of it. Then you have the strength and the knowledge and the know-how to help bring others out of it. And, I've always been a good communicator. So we just kind of went back and forth. And she's moving down from Illinois, looking for a place to live down here, just in town on happenstance. And if you think, well, what if I was drinking? I wouldn't have been up early to watch that sunrise, and I wouldn't have met this person. And now we're going to actually meet up later this evening, I believe. And she's going to fill me in more about how that world works and how I get started in it. It's not something to get rich quick or any kind of scheme like that. It's like you take on one client and you build from there, so on and so forth. But yeah, it's super cool stuff. Like, I mean, it's I asked her, I was like, so is that like realistic? She's like, yeah. It took her like a year or something to get to where it was her main source of income. But, I don't know, whatever. It's if you believe in law of attraction, you don't, I don't know. I believe in it, and it's all about learning to vibrate at a higher frequency. And whether you believe in that or not, we need to vibrate at a higher frequency. And that shit is really tough to do when we fucking drink all the time and we smoke weed and we fuck off all the time. So, blah, 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 blah. That's day 3. I'll see y'all tomorrow.
Just you white in me again. Just you white. You'll be sorry, but your tears will be too light. Just you white in me again. Just you white. You'll be sorry, but